that's not deadlocked. It's bad, but it's not deadlocked. G'day, mate. Welcome back to Factorio with me, JD. So, where did we leave it? We left it with trying to get the third blueprint built. The third blueprint is entirely built. Turns out, doesn't matter how far I extended that track, I had to extend it further, and we've got this up and running. Now, this is tied into the main line, both into this little outposting section and in up here. And the grand plan is to have these outposts feed this build, these outposts feed this build, this crap feed this crap, and this crap feed this crap. That's the grand plan. Is it going to succeed? Is it going to work? I don't know, honestly. We have had the rockets launching like 1,000 miles an hour the whole time. Actually, where is... This is one of the first silos. We're up to how many? 4,000 rockets out of that silo. Yeah, we're launching a rocket or two. The labs are going flat out. I have had a couple of suggestions on how I could change this to make it more UPS efficient, which is something I really should do, but honestly, we're getting towards the end of the series. We really, really are. I'm actually standing here at the third build. I've already hooked up oil. Oil is now running. In fact, the rocket fuel is completely backed up already, which hopefully means I won't have any problems with light oil. I've turned off light to petroleum cracking. So the idea is hopefully... No, already the tanks are disappearing. So I'm going to have to go rip up some, actually... Six tanks. And undo. And 6 tanks will go back down. And we're just going to delete a whole pile of petroleum, which should give us more room to make more light oil, which should get these tanks full. I'm starting to think maybe if I... At the moment, I'm reading off this petroleum tank for this pump, which technically doesn't have an output, to run. I'm actually thinking maybe I should read off this tank and be on a, like, you know, if there is not X amount of light oil in that tank, don't let the petroleum out of light oil cracking. At the moment, I've actually disconnected this pipe, so all the crackers can't run except the first one. Hoping that that'll give me plenty of light oil to get things running. That's the plan. Whether that works or not, I don't know. But today, I'm going to break our train tracks. Really, that's the grand plan. You honestly don't have 6 trains coming. There we go. So, Train Supply Manager had an update. It's actually an update I've put off for a little while, but I decided to update because I want to be on the latest version. Also, there were some graphical glitches with the new debris. That's the word I'm looking for. The new debris caused the existing train stops to not rotate properly. So I figured, look, we're going to update. We might as well update, and we can look at some of the new changes. One of the new changes is this now tells me I have 6 trains coming, and the 6 trains are bringing copper plate, because that's what I've asked for in here. Copper plate actually means copper ore, if you remember back to an earlier episode, because I had copper ore being delivered on little 4 trains. This is copper ore being delivered on bigger 8 trains. So I actually have, like, you know, 3... I have 1 4s running around on the network. Oh, that's... You in the main network? You are. I have 1 4s running around the train network. I also have 3 8s running around the train network. But today's episode is all about setting up these new stations. Now, there's a feature with Train Supply Manager currently that if I accidentally copy and paste any of these resource icons, the game hard crashes. So I've got to set all these in manually, but that's not too hard. So first thing is we want train less than 6. And then we set you to plate and plate. And 1 train, 2 train, 3 train, 4 train, 5 train, 6 train coming. And light switches off. And we need to just rinse and repeat that over and over and over. Train 6. I need to set it this way because I set it. If I set the copper plate first, I could potentially request 20 trains, which would be bad for the train network because I actually already think just doing this is going to cause the whole network to come to a standstill. Plate. There's another one. Handcraft some more of that. Yeah, because I can't copy paste things, I'm going through wire, which is unfortunate. Because it's normally not something I carry on me and not something I like handcrafting. I much prefer to do it once and then use the copy paste command to give me free signal wire. It also means this whole process is a little bit longer than I'd like. Wrong one. You train 6. Light turns on. Light does not know what to request. Set those 2 and I'll show you on the next one. So we set this to be train less than 6. And then we say, see priority not defined. When I set this to plate, it now understands that it needs to get plate from copper 8 is the station that it picks, and bang, it's already requesting 6 trains. And then we're going to run past the coal one. The coal one is, same with much of the other ones, it's actually fed from belts with a backup from the trains. Because I just found finding coal outposts that were big enough was a little bit difficult. That, and I tend to find I've built on top of coal just about everywhere. Plate. I should probably explain how these work. So let's put down one of these. Over here I have Iron 8. So Iron 8 is the name of the station. And I have lots of trains parked at Iron 8. In fact, every single iron outpost, like this one, has all its trains parked at Iron 8. Here's another one, has all its trains parked at Iron 8. And they're all grouped just plain and simply under the Iron 8 category. And then what I can actually do with a bit of wire is I hook this up and Train Supply Manager goes, okay, if it has less than 6 trains, and trains is just an icon, really. It's just an icon that feeds back into the circuit network, if I get rid of all this stuff. And the way I'm getting trains is I'm counting up all the ore in all these boxes and shoving that into a wire and feeding it into this arithmetic combinator. And I'm counting the total amount of iron ore in all those chests divided by 16,000, which is how much fits on my trains, because they're 8 wagons long at 2,000 ore per wagon. I'm going to output that as a train signal. Trains on their way. And then that feeds into the light, or be more exact, through the light and into this combinator. And so we're feeding that as trains on their way, i.e. how many trains I actually want to call is really what it is at this point. And this magic combinator counts how many trains are actually on their way to this station. So at the moment there's 6, as you can see, coming. When the first one's empty, boom, done. It's still counting 6 because there's no ore. There's really no ore in those chests. And that's really what I'm counting. I'm counting either six trains worth of ore in the chests or 6 trains on their way to this station. Either or, I'm happy with either combination. But that's how I've set up my particular train supply manager. Now, I've been told by people on my Discord who actually run this model a lot better than I do, that I've set all my combinators wrong. But at the end of the day, I'm getting an answer that works for me. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a win. I'm so going to get hit by train this episode. And base is a long way away. That into there, that into there. We want trains to be 6. And plate and plate. And last one. Trains to be 6. And again, plate, plate. So that should fill up all of these stations. It should fill all our belts and hopefully kick everything on. I can already see how far my UPS has dropped. I'll admit, I'm still at the state where I haven't actually, I haven't closed Chrome. I haven't closed Chrome or anything since the last episode, which was like 3 days ago. In fact, I've probably got more browser windows open now than I did 3 days ago. But this should turn everything on. And really, I want to wait till everything's in a completely backed up state. I really want everything completely backed up before we start adding the trains back in. Let's look at oil real quick. You're full. You're full. You're full. That's a good sign. So... Oh, and you're full. Everything's backed up. We're backed up on heavy oil because we can't convert it to light oil. Because light oil's backed right the way up. Okay, we're going to start using our petroleum in a second, so that should alleviate some of the problems. We've got green circuits running. Some green circuits running. We've got steel running, which will make low density structures run, which will use a heap of plastic, which will use a heap of petroleum. But yeah, the whole way this base is like, you know, that steel started coming around. This chest needs to get 100 steel in it. Then that chest. Then that chest. Then the longest autosave ever. And this is saving to an NVMe drive. So this is quite a fast drive, but it still takes quite some time. I haven't actually looked at how big the saves are. Maybe I should do that. Saves. Oh, the autosaves are only 160 meg. They're not too big. Okay, this should be the first steel that turned on. So yeah, I gotta wait for that one's backed up. No, we're still adding to the second chest. So it's got a little while to go for everything to back up. And I think that's the state I actually need. I think I need everything in a fully backed up state before I start pulling the rocket parts out. Speaking of rocket parts, I had to make more rocket solos. Turns out I definitely didn't have 1200 electric engines buffered. So yeah, I had to put together all the way back here, a temporary build to just make electric engines, which is now out of normal engines. Turns out I didn't have 1200 electric normal engines buffered up either. I had enough to make the solos that are in my inventory, which is the 6 we require. So, holy shit, we didn't end up with traffic jam. Oh, we got congestion. Ooh, I take that back. No, that's not deadlocked. It's bad, but it's not deadlocked. Okay. No, things are moving really slowly. And it's just came down to, like, I haven't pulled 6 trains in here. I've pulled in, well, I'm still pulling in trains. I've pulled in probably 12 trains to each one of these stations, because I've got to not only have 6 trains in the boxes, but also have to have all the belts filled, which is a lot of ore, And then every one of the smelters, same story. They've all got buffer chests. Every single one has a whole bunch of buffer chests. Like, that's 17 buffer chests there. So what's that? 8,000? 9,000? 900. 900 ore. There we go. It's after midnight, just for the record. It's after midnight at the time of recording this, which means the video is going to go out about 1 a.m. my time, because it's tonight's video, so to speak. So yeah, there's a whole lot of buffering that's got to go on. But what I actually want to do is, the other thing I want to try and get done this episode, is we're going to go to here. If I can get through all the traffic jams. I don't need that anymore. I don't need that. I don't need that. Just doing an inventory clear out along the way. Oh, I will want those. Yes. Do we have beacons delivered here still? We do. And built. Good. Because I want to copy, funnily enough, all of that. Because we need another station. Another set of stations. Which also means this has to start looking getting packed up. Might not get it done this episode. I might just cut off the inputs. We will see. But yeah, I need... Do I still have train track to live? No. Train still comes here. No, I'm not that fortunate. Do I have train track on me? I got a few hundred. Alright, jump out of the train. Okay, that railroad port needs some undergrounds. We're gonna copy that. I just want the tiles. I honestly don't want anything else. Just the tiles. And we want to drop that. There. Nope, maybe not there. There. And copy that. We want to paste that in there. And set you back to trees, because I can't have a single tree live through this experience. Copy that. Paste it in there. Copy all. What did you say about the trees living through this experience? Oh, train. That's how engineers die. Paste that in there with... There's always these guys in the way. Is that right? Yeah, that looks right. I don't know why I've got so many signals on the outside, but sure. Yeah, you're going to complain. Let's put some... These should all be chain signals. What does it say about engineers dying from running across train tracks? Okay. More trees. I haven't got rid of the wood burner yet. thought about it. I thought, no, surely we're done with all the wood. Turns out, not quite. Okay. Concrete is still being delivered. Okay, so that's something. Train stations, 1, 2, 3. Stack and service. Okay, how many? 8. I can make 7. Of course I can make 7. Run that to there. No, robots can reach all that crap. So why for you guys not put down concrete? Oh, because there's none here. Module 2 bricks. Okay, let's go find ourselves a way to unload. You'll do. Nope. How much space science? Oh, 218k. Okay. We'll just remove that. 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 Okay, hopefully that gives us the stack inserters we need. 218,000 in storage. I'm willing to bet I've destroyed quite a few science packs. Okay, all the steel chests got put down. Still 1 stack inserter. Where the hell's my 1 stack inserter? Oh, it's that one. Nope, that one got delivered. And turns out I don't need train track anyway. I had enough on me. Okay, so we just need... Has that concrete been delivered yet? Almost. Okay, let's copy that at least. Okay. So I can't really do anything else till the labs go away. That's really the bottom line. Or do I move the whole lab build down? Yeah, you know what? We're going to leave the lab build. We're going to leave the lab build for at least another episode. Where are you, train? Are you out of bricks? Maybe. Let's send you there. And give you a time passed and an inactivity. Oh no, we're at silo, aren't we? Yeah, we're at silo. I sent it to the wrong outpost. It's fine. Okay, so bots are clearing off what's left. We're waiting on this to go down. These chests are still empty. Okay, so let's start the first one. Copper's backed up. Copper's backed up. Copper is 81k, so backing up. 84k, 73k, 46k with gaps in all the chests. Why? Oh. Okay. So Factorio. I want to go to here. So because I've rotated the blueprint twice to give me a complete 180, where is one that's actually outputting? Nope, nope, nope. Here. I now have 2 putting onto this side of the belt and 4 putting onto... Or is that right? No, that's still right. Never mind. This is what happens when you record videos when it's super late. Okay. So, we have backed up, backed up, backed up, backing up, backing up, getting there, not nearly enough, backed up, coal's fine, getting there, that's backed up, that's backed up, that's backed up, and that's backed up. So we're just waiting on 1 copper. And the traffic jam from hell to be cleared. No, the trains are actually moving. I just can't get a... I can't get a signal in. It's the joys of chain signals. There's no real way to fix it. It means whoever's turning on to the intersection has to wait the longest. Actually, that should have been a normal signal. Yeah, those ones should be normal signals. Oh, it's fine. It's a later JD problem. Okay, so let's look at our output. Not quite. Backed up and backed up. So we're just waiting on the rocket control units to back up, which are waiting on blue circuits to back up. Yeah, blue circuits. Which are waiting on red circuits to back up. Which is waiting on what? Okay. Jump out of this train, go for a hike to the other end of this module. Full belt of green circuits, less and less green circuits, less and less, less and less. It's waiting on the chests to back up. Yeah, and because it's green circuits, they back up in chests of 200, which probably means when it comes to the blue circuits, same story. We're waiting on chests of 200 to back up. Although they're doing all right on the green circuit end. Oh no, that's speed modules. Red circuits. Yeah. That chest right there. And right there. And there. I'm just looking at this. The other belt is absolutely in. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. So, red circuits were my own very own little tiny nightmare. And this is how I fixed the problem. We're basically shifting everything down. Repeatedly shifting everything down. So these 2 lanes fill this lane. These 2 lanes get merged down to the bottom, and then these 2 lanes get merged down here, and so on and so forth, all the way down. But it means until this build, which is short on plastic, which is short on petroleum, yep, which is caused by heavy oil being backed up, which is caused by a missing underground. Well, now we've just booted up twice the refineries. We should end up with twice the heavy oil. You're backed up on light. So your light comes out here, gets pumped into this tank, back pressured in here, converted to petroleum. Which then comes out to here, into there, shoved through pumps into this tank. which is then used to pressure feed that tank, and that, yeah, so on and so forth. You're also backed up on light oil. You don't backflow. Crap. Okay, I'm now destroying tanks. I'm a horrible person. Alright. Yeah, I shouldn't have ripped up these petroleum tanks until I actually plugged in the plastic. And you're instantly full. Because every damn tank is full. Okay, you're going to make petroleum, which is going to go and filter its way into there. And that petroleum definitely feeds into, yeah, definitely feeds into these guys. So I just need to wait. That's the long and the short of it. I need to wait until my heavy has all been cracked. My heavy is still being cracked. My light oil from only these two top refineries can actually has the ability to be cracked into petroleum. So I basically have just these two top rows of refineries, if they can output, which it looks like the end ones can't output. Nope, they're backed up in light oil, and that won't change. So I need to wait for these ones to output their heavy, which can be cracked into light, their light, which can be cracked into petroleum, into the petroleum tanks to make us plastic to back up all the plastic in these builds to make all the red circuits. Actually, that first lane is chockers already. To make all the red circuits to fill all these buffer chests in speed modules to then basically back up. So when this red circuit backs up, it's going to make up this plastic backup. When it backs up, it's going to then force the petroleum to back up into further tanks, which is going to get more and more plastic turned on to run more and more red circuits to then come down to our blue circuits and start filling up these buffer chests. Where were we? That one's full, that one's full, that one's getting there, that one's getting there, so on and so forth. After all that's done, and that's backed up, which will then complete backing up this, which will then complete backing up this. Well, actually, it's already backed up, even though not many of the chests are full. And of course, blue circuits only stacking 100, so it's not too bad. But red circuits stacking 200s, which means, like, well, steel chests, 135, only half of them, no, a third of them are for red circuits. So what's a quick way to do that maths at this time of night? About that many chests. About 50 odd chests at 200 red circuits apiece, which is like 10,000 red circuits need to actually go into chests. 10,000? 1,000? I don't know. Like I said, it's really, really late. My maths is really not working. 50 times 200. 10,000. My maths does work. So I need 10,000 extra red circuits to be made to also make an extra half that amount. 16,000 blue circuits to go into all these buffer chests. Yeah. This system takes a while to back up, but you can see as red circuits are backing up, petroleum is backing up, which means more plastic's turning on, which is getting more of these guys running. Even though my low density structures are backed up on the belts, I still need an issue where I need to make sure every one of these chests is completely backed up as well, which obviously they're not. So I have to wait for more plastic builds to come on. Basically, I need to wait for the whole system to completely back up before I add the trains. That's probably the point I'm trying to get at. So with that, I'm going to call it an end of this episode. I'm going to let this run for a little bit to let everything back up fully. And then we should be able to turn it on. At the same time... maybe have enough room to move science? I don't really want to pull it up just yet. Funny thing is the UPS has gone up. Oh crap, now I want a radar over there. Radar. There. Yeah, I don't really want to pull up science yet. But maybe it's time it goes. On top of that, I am going to attempt to find out how to get Train Supply Manager, at which point I will spend that next episode explaining to you guys how it works. How to get Train Supply Manager to prioritize the stations, because that's going to be a big thing. Because as you can see, like, we don't have a deadlock, we just have a shit throughput limit. And I have had people comment like, why don't I go up to 4-lane tracks? And 4-lane tracks are a good idea. You have higher throughputs through straight sections. The catch is the limiting throughput for every single train system is your junctions. And having 4 lanes, in theory, means you can let more trains through those junctions. Each time they change and let trains... well, each time the signals change and you let trains through, in theory, you can let through more trains. The catch is... you actually end up with a lower overall uptime for your intersections because you spend more time with trains trying to get through them. So it's like you get a little bit more throughput because you let potentially 2 or 3 trains through in an intersection at a time. On the flip side, you spend as much or a little bit more time with trains waiting to get through the intersections. So it's a 50-50, half a dozen the other. In theory, what I have here, just a single bidirectional lane, is enough if I can prioritize the stations. And I know I can do it by saying... I know I can do it by telling these trains they can only draw from here, and going through and renaming all the other ones and having dedicated, like, this is dedicated to here, that's dedicated there. But I do know Train Supply Manager also has the ability to say, this is priority 1 for this one, but if there's no trains available, by all means, grab from priority 2, priority 3, priority 4, so on and so forth. And that's what I really want to set up. Anyway, with that, I'm out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you're enjoying. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. All right, bye.